I could not make an ocean conservation campaign without addressing the biggest threat, and that is of course climate change. A rise in sea levels, melting ice caps, ocean warming and ocean acidification all pose serious threats to marine organisms, and I did want to touch on a few of these in today's video. Since the start of the Industrial Revolution in the 1800s, carbon dioxide levels have increased due to human actions such as burning fossil fuels, deforestation and cement production. As more carbon dioxide is being added into our atmosphere, increasing amounts are being absorbed by our oceans. Currently, the oceans absorb 30% of this extra CO2. Whilst it sounds great to our atmosphere, it comes with a huge cost to our oceans. When carbon dioxide dissolves in the seawater, chemical changes break it down to form carbonic acid, which lowers the seawater's pH, making it more acidic. And this is what we refer to as ocean acidification. Over the last 200 years alone, this increased acidity has led to a 0.1 pH drop of our ocean waters from 8.2 to 8.1. Admittedly, this does sound like a small, insignificant change, but what it does mean is that our oceans have become 30% more acidic. Many species are likely to be directly impacted by ocean acidification or indirectly affected by altered food webs. Some species will be able to adapt to this change, but others are more sensitive, and we are already seeing this in shell-building organisms, for example. These organisms, such as corals and oysters, are vulnerable to even slight changes in ocean acidity. As ocean acidification increases, carbonate ions are less abundant in the seawater, and that's what these organisms do need to create their calcium carbonate shells and skeletons. Even if organisms are able to build these shells, they may need to spend more time doing so, and less time will be spent in other activities such as reproduction. Also, once their shells are built, they still have the potential to dissolve in this more acidic water. Another issue that is impacting marine communities is ocean warming. In response to the increase of greenhouse gases, the planet's temperature has risen. A warming planet means a warming ocean, as our oceans have absorbed 93% of this excess heat from greenhouse gases since the 1970s. The warming of our seas has led to a rise in sea levels, and the latest IPCC report states that levels have actually risen by 20 centimeters since 1900, and scientists cannot rule out a 2-meter rise by the end of this century. One severe consequence of ocean warming is coral bleaching. Coral reefs are some of the world's most biodiverse areas, and a quarter of marine life actually require them at some point in their life for shelter, breeding grounds, or protection. Coral bleaching occurs when corals are under stress, usually due to heat, causing them to lose their vibrant and amazing colors. These amazing colors come from microscopic algae that live within the coral's tissues called zooxanthellae, and these provide the coral with food and color. When a coral undergoes stress, it expels these algae, exposing the white skeleton underneath, looking almost like a bleached appearance. Sometimes corals can recover from these bleaching events. However, if temperatures do stay high for too long, corals will not allow the algae to come back into their tissues, depriving them of their food source and ultimately leading to their starvation and death. Once these corals die, reef ecosystems, which thousands of marine animals depend on for survival, will deteriorate, and many species will face extinction. This will have damaging consequences on the marine food chain, even impacting larger species such as dolphins and sharks, which prey upon these smaller reef inhabitants. If we continue to pollute the air, our oceans and its inhabitants will continue to suffer and face a bleak future. The most effective way we can protect our oceans and tackle climate change is to dramatically reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. In 2016, 195 countries signed up to the Paris Agreement to strengthen the global response to climate change. The goal of the agreement is to prevent global temperatures from rising well below 2 degrees Celsius pre-industrial levels, and further limit the temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius. The UK is also legally committed to tackling climate change head-on and reach net zero emissions by 2050. On a more individual basis, the best thing that we can do to tackle climate change is to reduce our carbon footprint by reducing our energy use and supporting renewable energy. If we all work together, it is still possible that we can minimize the effects of climate change and protect our oceans, planet and its inhabitants, but we must act now. So that is the end of today's video, guys, and I would love to hear all your thoughts and opinions on this topic, as always, in the comments down below. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.